Yeah, that's Andre Blake with his exploits for the Reggae Boyz. Well, yeah, super shot stopper for the Reggae Boyz and the Reggae Boyz skipper. Blake will next suit up for the Reggae Boyz on March 25 in a friendly against the United States in Austria. Both teams will use that game as a tune-up for World Cup qualifying action, where they'll battle for one of 3 automatic spots from CONCACAF at the Qatar World Cup in 2022. The 4th placed team from CONCACAF will engage in a playoff for another World Cup berth. So you can see CONCACAF has 3.5 spots at this time. Well, we've heard from the JFF president, Lance, and now we're set to be joined by Blake, who plays for Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, Andre, welcome to the SportsMax Zone.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's start with a personal query. Your fractured hand that you had a few months ago, how is that? And are you ready for competitive football again?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm actually back in full training, so that's good. Feeling good. Officially started preseason on Monday, so yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of news coming through the grapevine about, we have to say, stalled negotiations between the JFF and the players because of some figures that the players are reported to be demanding. We just spoke a few minutes ago with the JFF president, Michael Ricketts, who declined a lengthy or an expansive discussion on it because he wants to retain a good relationship with the players, and he probably feels that if he says too much on our show, it could harm the negotiations. Can you tell us from the player standpoint, first of all, if the number that we are hearing, US $7,000 per match, is where the players are at the moment with their negotiations?
Well, yeah, it's a negotiation, so it can be very sensitive, so you have to be careful. You don't want to put things out in the media too early, but for me, it's as simple as the JFF submitted a contract to the players, and we submitted a counter offer, because that's how negotiations normally go. There's an offer, you counter the offer, and then there could be a counter offer, and up to this day we're still waiting, to get that counter offer from the JFF, which we have not yet received. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, we remember that for the Saudi Arabia fixture, there was, an audio interview or discussion with Damian Lowe and the JFF, some JFF officials, that went viral. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about it. Those figures then were, nothing close to what we are seeing now. Of course, this is World Cup qualifying, so the stakes are a lot higher here. But just judging from the general public reaction, Andre, a lot of people have been startled by this US 7,000 because in our checks, internationally, most international players do not get US $7,000 for international matches. So, a lot of people are questioning, why would that? I know you say it's a start out figure and it's a negotiation, but why go so high so early?
Well, that's a good question, but we're talking about World Cup qualifiers, and it's a big thing, and if you look back on how far we are actually coming from, and this is 2021, and again, some figures were thrown out there, could you say they were on the high end? Yes, but the players also know what they're worth, but again, it's a numbers game, and it's easy. Just as how we can think when the JFF submits certain numbers, it's disrespectful for us. We can put numbers out there just the same, and they can't really judge us too much based on that, because they have always been coming up with numbers that are ridiculous. So I don't see anything wrong if we do the same at some point.
Yeah, the ability to pay for the JFF has always been a sticking point for them. We have always heard that the JFF is a cash-strapped institution. In fact, they are, because even now they are in the red. Is that something the players would consider when they enter negotiations like this?
I always say before, this is probably the first time numbers have ever been like this. And again, it's kind of like a slap back at the JFF, because every time they come with these ridiculous numbers. So we said, okay, you guys want to always come with these ridiculous numbers, then we can play this game, and then we just go for a high number. You know what I mean? And for us, we have a really good group of guys, and I think that there can be a lot more marketing done to get sponsors on board. And there's a lot more ways that funds can come in to compensate the players. And I think there's a lot more that can be done. I don't think that there is enough being done. And it's almost like I am asking someone to come and work for me, and that person must figure out how they're going to get paid, or how I'm going to pay them. Our job is to come and play, not to worry about how we're going to get paid, and the JFF have a job and they must do their job.
Yeah, I have time for 2 more questions, Andre, but I want to ask you 3. Let's hope we can get through in the time. The first one, the JFF president says he has effectively opened the books to the players for you to see the financial state that the federation is in, so you can know the basis for them saying they can only afford a certain number. Have you seen those numbers?
The numbers were out there. I didn't take a look, to be honest, because there's no trust. There's absolutely no trust between the JFF and the players, because there have been so many times when we try to make it right, and they just always find a way to mess it up. So there's no trust, and if there's no trust, then there's no way. So
yeah,
like there can be numbers, but what's the legitimacy behind those numbers, we don't know, and it's their fault why there's no trust right now.
Yeah, there is also the issue of the lump sum payment that FIFA gives to a country that qualifies for the World Cup. So of course, if all goes well, the Reggae Boys are among the teams qualifying for the Qatar World Cup. There is, we understand, a $1 million drawdown that the JFF will get, that fund I spoke of. Have the players thought of saying, all right, we will take a reasonable match fee if we can get the players to share in maybe 50-70% of that 1 million after we've qualified? Have you explored that option yet?
And again, I think it was proposed by JFF like 15% of the prize money for qualifying for the World Cup, right?
15%.
I don't remember the number to be exact, but again, it was
15% was banded about. I heard it myself. Can't verify it, but I heard it myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number, but it was a ridiculous number again. And it's almost like we have been given a commission contract almost. And even with getting a commission contract where it's almost like if you don't win, you don't get paid, then even with the prize money, it's almost like you're still not getting what you deserve, So it's, for me, it's just ridiculous. And I think that the JFF can do a lot better, and they must do a lot better. And there are questions as to why nobody wants to come on board as sponsors. I don't think it's the players why they don't want to come on board.
Yeah.
So again, JFF can just come out and make it look like we are some players who are just in it for money. There are a million things that needs to be done, and that can be done better from the JFF, including being more professional in everything. And being professional does not take money in every instance.
Yeah. Just before we go, Andre, I'm going to show you a graphic of players that we put together that the JFF president has confirmed that all of these players, Aarons, the two Greys, Hayden, Holgate, Liam Moore, Nathan Redmond, Kemar Roof, Ivan Toney, and I just got word of a player from out of Norway, Blair Turgott, UK born, plays as a winger for Östersund. The word is that all those players, well, Blair Turgott has his documents already, clearing him to play for the Reggae Boys, and these players are well on the way to getting their clearance to play for the Reggae Boys, documents and the like, pending. What's your feeling about the drive to get talent from outside of Jamaica to aid the World Cup push?
I mean, it's always good, because we always want the best possible players that we can get. the most worrying thing for me is why now? You know, why not before? Everybody just wants to come in when it's time for World Cup qualifiers, and for me that's not good enough. You know, you need to want to play for your country, whether we're playing against Guyana or whether we're playing in the World Cup qualifiers. So it's always exciting to see players wanting to play, and you know, we always want to have the best players to put forward. You know, but on the other hand, why now? Why not before? You know, but is it a reason where they just only want to play qualifiers, or is it a reason where, you know, passport or whatever takes time? I don't know, but there's still the question: why now? Why not before?
Yeah. Well, Andre, the next time, well, when COVID allows, we'll all gather at Kickout Sports Bar and have a drink.
Right, sounds good.
There you go. All the best to you with your business venture, Kickout Sports Bar, of course, Andre's enterprise. This is it, Kickout Sports Bar and Lounge. The man is a restaurateur, he's a footballer, and he is making sure that when he hangs up his gloves, he can take care of the things he needs to take care of.
Yeah, and there's turmoil too, George, in St. Lucia's football, because we are getting word that St. Lucia's Football Association is preparing to withdraw from CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. The players are up in arms. They feel that they aren't being told enough about what is happening, and we hope to talk about that on Wednesday, aren't we?
Yeah, thank you, Andre. All the best to you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Good. Reggae Boys captain Andre Blake there, ending this segment.